What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Black Power. So today we're going to talk about a couple things in iOS 13 beta 2. I almost said iOS 12. I want to talk about, first off, the comments where you guys say that the
Spotlight. Edit. Typing mode. Direct touch. Standard type. Direct touch typing.
So the direct touch typing, I actually never knew that was there until iOS 13. I thought that was new because you know, in iOS 12, I went through it, but I didn't go through it as thoroughly as I did iOS 13. So I never knew that was there. Interestingly enough, I've always just kept it at touch typing and never really, you know, messed with it much. Just kept it in one feature, you know, as you usually would with VoiceOver. You have it set to one feature and that's it. But I didn't know that was there previously to iOS 13. So thank you for letting me know. I wanted to clear that up. Now, in iOS 13 beta 2, first off, very important, it's now in public beta. So you can now get it without having to have a developer account. You know, you can go search Apple public beta program, sign up there. Basically, you get access to all the new betas. Now, this beta is just stable enough so that I actually have it on my daily driver, on my main iPhone XS Max.
Messages. Double tap to open. Use 3.
You know, there's still a lot of bugs. But first, the App Store. When it crashed in beta 1, that's no longer there.
iTunes App Store. App Store. App Store.
There we go.
Today.
So it actually launches the App Store now. It doesn't crash.
Apps. Tab. 3. App Switcher. App Switcher.
Yeah.
App Store. Active.
There's a lot of,
Swipe
I
up.
feel like there's a lot more
App Store.
haptic feedback, which is why, you know, I went to the App Switcher and back, because you know, that haptic feedback is so satisfying with VoiceOver.
Stop. App Ice Watch.
There's, you know,
Double tap to open.
for
Use.
iOS 12 there was a little bit of haptic in certain things. Not like everything you do with VoiceOver now. 100% everything is haptic. Like the you know, even tapping, every single little thing is haptic now, which is kind of cool. I actually enjoy that because, let's be real, you know, if you're using like, you know, if you're using like headphones, and you know, you could potentially be hard of hearing, and you want to know, did VoiceOver just say something, or you know, you want to get some kind of tactile feedback with VoiceOver, that could come in handy. You know, perhaps you didn't hear what VoiceOver said, but you're like, did VoiceOver do something? Like, what did it do? You can confirm that with the vibrations, you know, when VoiceOver is interacting. Where is this a problem? When you're connected to a Braille display. I don't have a Braille display handy, so I don't know if it if it actually still vibrates with, you know, VoiceOver connected to, you know, a Braille display. I honestly hope not, because if you have your phone, like, you know, on a table, is this gonna keep? It's not like a strong vibration. It's a normal haptic feedback you usually get with, you know, when you get a phone call or something. It's like a nice haptic feedback. Or when you do 3D touch, you know, that kind of feedback. But you know, it still can be, you know, annoying if you're just using a Braille display. You don't want any obvious like signs that you're using VoiceOver, you know, from your phone. You know, that could be a problem with the haptic feedback. You know, perhaps you'd have to put your phone in your pocket or something so that the haptic feedback isn't, you know, audible to people near you. You know, but that's the only complaint I would have about, you know, haptic feedback. The other things that I noticed with iOS 13 beta 2 is image recognition has gotten really good. Like, it's available in Safari.
Page 2 of page. Dock. While iTunes App Store.
Let's go to the App Store, because Safari, it has it in every single app, basically. But the App Store honestly has, you know, a lot of images, so we can do this. Okay.
How to find your Broadway tribe. How to find your Broadway tribe.
So we're gonna scroll down.
How to. If you've seen Phantom on Broadway, how to find your cellular to a 4-bar. There are communities for anything where you can artwork, space, image. Page 4 of 8, artwork, space, image.
Let's see if it'll say it.
Artwork, space, image. Some shows are artwork, space, image. There are, meanwhile, for page 8 of 8. Page 7 of page 6, page 5, page 4, very sharp, page 3 of 8, page 3 of 8, page 4 of 8, very sharp, curtain, textile.
There we go. So it's still very finicky. Like it worked when I started scrolling, but undo it again.
Page 4 of 8, very sharp, curtain, textile.
And yeah, it does show an open curtain, and there's something in the middle, but it didn't say that. So it says a lot of stuff, but it depends on the quality of the picture. Like this one in the middle is a shadow. There's like a bright area, so it may not detect
page
that.
3 of page 2 of 8, page 1 of 8. How
Okay,
to
let's go
find your
back.
Broadway tribe. 9:30. How to find your Broadway tribe. If you've seen Phantom on Broadway and the web, dismiss article. Button. Dismiss article.
I'm trying to see if it'll read the image, but it won't. Let's go to Safari and find an image.
App Store. Dock. Safari. Text. Dim. Address. Text field. Address. Text. Insertion point at end. Clear text. Clear text.
So I'm
Alert.
searching for flower.
The web. Allow. The website. Allow. Button. The website google.com. Would like to use your current location. Allow. Button.
Yeah,
Search
okay,
modes.
whatever.
Heading level 1. Search modes. Heading level 1. Image result for flower. Image result for flower. Page 2 of 7. Image result for flower. Space. Image. Blurry. Flower.
There you go.
Country. Blurry. Flower. Page 2 of 3. Related. Slightly blurry. Begun. Related. Space. Slightly blurry. Foliage. Rose.
So it knew that was a rose. So it can be specific depending on the picture. And that's pretty
Loading.
cool.
Page 2 of 3. Page 3 of 3.
Let's find another one.
Related.
This
Space.
weird purple
Space.
one.
Related. Blurry. Foliage. Rose.
So
Dock.
that's pretty cool. Like it does say a lot of the stuff that it is. Like it says as if it's a rose, or when it said it said curtains. There's different things that
Safari.
can search.
Address. Flower. Secure and validated connection. Address. Text field. Is that clear text? Button. Clear text.
I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna search car.
Car. Go.
There
Format
you go.
options. Shopping. Images. Format options. Backlook. Space. Very sharp. Rim. Sports car. Tire. Window.
So wow, that was very specific. Okay. VoiceOver just froze on me. So you guys are experiencing a bug firsthand. Wow. Huh.
Accessibility shortcuts.
There we go.
Zoom. Button. Me. Back. Button. Back.
Okay.
Web page. Back. Space. Link. Image. Somewhat. Act. Space. Link. Image. Wait. Act. Space. Link. Image. Somewhat sharp. Rim. Sports car. $14.99. Act. Sharp. Rim. Vehicle. Image result for car. Space. Link. Image. Sharp. Page 2 of 15. Somewhat sharp. Car. Road other. Tire. Image result for car. Space. Link. Image. Very sharp. People. Sports car.
Oh, that's cool. So it says like if there's people in the car, sports car. Listen, here's like a family van.
Image result for car.
Like a-
Space. Link. Image. Slightly blurry. Sports car. Image result for car. Space. Link. Image. Sharp. Rim. Sports car.
Huh. So it can be quite
Image result for
specific.
car. Space. Link. Image. Very sharp. Car. Rim.
The rim is in focus. When the rim is like there, it'll say rim. So it detected the car and the rims. So that's interesting.
Page 3 of 15. Very sharp. Sharp. Car. Cloudy. Rim. Tire.
It's very raw. I mean, it tells you everything, but it's very raw. So that's just something I noticed in beta 2. It was in beta 1, but you had to like hunt for it. It's a little more obvious that it's there now.
Dock.
So, that's cool. Now, I just wanted to show you the stuff in the iOS 13, the brief features that I've noticed changes in accessibility. I'm also going to go ahead and do. I'm going to go ahead and do a video on. I have a video before this one, which I recommend you watch, because it is on voice control and voiceover. So perhaps there's people who are visually impaired and totally blind who can't really move their arms well, and perhaps they don't want to be using the switches. There's like little switches that are or a keyboard. Perhaps you could use the voice to navigate your phone as well. It works on the Apple TV on iOS 13. That's where I see it most useful. But there's a lot of good things in iOS 13. you know, iPad OS 13, all that. There's a lot of great features that are accessibility inclined. My favorite is the image detection with VoiceOver. I think that is great. As I showed you, it's a little more obvious to find. Last video, there was, you know, remember where I was like, this is weird. Why did it say looks like back arrow?
Possibly right arrow.
Well, it turns out that the back arrow, when it's dimmed, in beta 1 it wasn't really shown, but the image detection found that, you know, that it was an arrow, and it said looks like arrow. But you had to hunt for it. In my Twitter, you know, follow me, blind_power_YT. Twitter. You know, I post a lot of findings for developer stuff, you know, accessibility wise and everything. And I did post, you know, a little app that I wrote in the SwiftUI, you know, which is the new framework that Apple has for developers, you know. And I found that image detection will always work in SwiftUI. You know, image detection, OCR, and I didn't find OCR, you know, in any other app, so I guess OCR is reserved for SwiftUI. But, you know, SwiftUI will change the way you interact with apps with accessibility. As a developer, I care for SwiftUI. As a consumer, you really won't care for it until you start seeing apps written with SwiftUI. You will notice when it's SwiftUI because the apps, first of all, they will have more universal language. They'll look more like native Apple apps. They won't look like, you know, you have weird buttons. Like they gave us an asset catalog of system icons that are accessible. So that's the first thing. The second thing is SwiftUI has all the accessibility implementations already there for you for images. For example, if you drag an image, a developer puts an image in, you know, in the program, even if it's static, or it's the same image, or it's dynamic, VoiceOver will still be able to read, you know, the OCR or text not text recognition, the OCR or the image recognition. So your apps will be much more accessible in iOS 13. I'm gonna start a series, hopefully. You know, I don't know about a series, but I'm gonna start something where at least once a month I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna tell you what apps are in SwiftUI, what apps are written. If there's a way to find that out, I don't know yet, but I want to do something where I will tell you guys, hey, this is written in SwiftUI, accessibility is like this, and then we can kind of go through these SwiftUI apps, you know, to essentially see how they interact with VoiceOver accessibility-wise. I've written my own to test that out, and I'll tell you what, once they're out, even if the developer doesn't have accessibility in mind, you will still be able to interact with these apps. Even if, I mean, the only way that they can sort of make that more cumbersome, but they still can't make VoiceOver useless in an app anymore, is if they try to use an image as a button. But even then, it'll just take you a little longer. VoiceOver will be like button, and then it'll say, you know, sharp text contains, you know, home or help or whatever the button says in an image, and VoiceOver will read that out for you. It'll just take a little bit longer. Hopefully, you know, it'll be quicker at detecting text and image recognition in future betas, but I see, you know, the only reason why I'm telling you is about SwiftUI. I know that the average consumer doesn't, you know, really, you know, pay attention to these developer things, is that it's going to greatly affect the accessibility community, you know, whether you're using VoiceOver or you're using Assistive Touch. You know, SwiftUI will definitely benefit everybody using the accessibility features. As a visually impaired developer, I could tell you that once I learned SwiftUI, Bump Up Braille Learn, which is my flagship app for accessibility, will be hopefully going to SwiftUI so that it will look so much native to Apple. It'll look better. Alright, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Comment, rate, subscribe. You know, iOS 13 is on public beta. I will post the links for public beta sign up, you know, so you can sign up for Apple's public beta. If you don't want to do that, there's other ways of getting it through other people, but you have to navigate the web for that. So, alright, comment, rate, subscribe. I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye. Hit the subscribe button and remember to enable the notification bell to get all notifications of Blind Power uploads. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching.